Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into one of the biggest, most profound shifts we have ever seen in search. Google's AI, it's completely changing the game. And for anyone, and I mean anyone, who relies on search traffic, the old playbook, it's basically obsolete. So it's time we build a new one.
And this quote from Neil Patel, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. For years, the goal was so simple, right? Just get to the top of Google. But now, these AI overviews are popping up, summarizing answers right there on the results page. They're siphoning off traffic from even the #1 spot. If you're not the one being cited in that AI summary, you're pretty much invisible.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to dig into how search is quietly but dramatically changing. Then we'll break down the new rules of the game. After that, we get tactical. We're going to build a practical two-part playbook, covering both your on-page content and your off-page authority. And finally, we'll tie it all together so you can become the AI's most trusted source. Okay, let's dive right in. Section 1, search is quietly changing. We really need to get our heads around the why before we can even start talking about the how.
The first thing you've got to understand is that our behavior as searchers has already changed. I mean, think about it. Ever since tools like ChatGPT came along, we've shifted from typing in a few keywords to asking full-on, complex questions. And the data here is, well, it's staggering. Question-based searches have exploded from 38% to 87%. We're not just searching anymore, we're demanding answers.
And this is absolutely crucial. These AI overviews, they don't just appear on any old search. They show up most often for informational and commercial queries. Things like best CRM for agencies, or how do I repair a leaky faucet? So what does that mean? It means the AI is jumping in at the exact moment a customer is doing their research, comparing options, and getting ready to pull the trigger.
Which brings us to the single biggest mindset shift you have to make. I'm serious, this is it. The game is no longer about just ranking #1. It's about being chosen by the AI as a trusted source, being cited directly in that generated answer. That's where the visibility is now. That's where the traffic and the authority live. So if the new goal is to get cited, how in the world does this new answer engine actually, think? Let's move on to section 2 and find out. We're talking the new rules of search.
This new approach, it actually has a name, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO for short. Now, this isn't about replacing all your traditional SEO work, not at all. Think of it more like an essential new layer you put right on top. It's all about consciously, intentionally training the AI to see your brand as the definitive, go-to authority in your space. Let me give you an analogy from Caleb Olku, it's brilliant. Think of old search like a bookshelf. We go in and scan the top books on the shelf, right? The first few results. But now, Google is like an AI librarian. It goes and reads all the relevant books on the shelf, even the ones on page 2. And then it writes a brand new summary, citing the absolute best and most helpful sources it found. This means a fantastic answer on page 2 can actually get cited over a so-so answer on page 1. Position isn't king anymore. The best answer is.
All right, so now we get the new landscape. It's time to get tactical. Let's get into section 3, your on-page content playbook. This is all about what you need to be creating and publishing on your very own website. Okay, here's a really powerful two-step method. First, you stop guessing what to optimize. You use an AI prompt to comb through your own search data and find those juicy, question-based keywords with the highest potential. The pages that are already so close to ranking. Then, step 2, you use a second prompt. You feed it the AI overview that's already out there and your own content, and bam, it spits out a gap analysis, a perfectly structured answer block, and even the technical schema markup you need. It's like surgical, data-driven SEO. So what kind of content should you actually be making? Well, these formats are pure gold. Why? Because they basically spoon-feed the AI exactly what it's looking for. Best fit briefs answer super specific questions. A top reasons series gives a nice, clean, structured list of why you're the best. Comparison tables, they do all the heavy lifting for the user. And if you're a local business, these service plus city posts are an absolute must. And I can't stress this enough, structure is everything. AI models, just like us humans, they love scannable content. They don't want to wade through a wall of text. So use your H2 headings to ask the exact question a user is searching for. Then answer it right away, clearly, using bullet points and tables. Zero fluff, just the answer. But look, creating great content on your site, that's only half the battle. The AI is looking for trust signals all across the internet. So let's move to section 4, your off-page authority playbook. First up, Let's talk about something that sounds technical but is actually super important: schema markup. It's kind of like behind-the-scenes magic. The best analogy is it's like putting labels on moving boxes. It's hidden code that tells the AI exactly what's inside your content without making it guess. Is this a review? Is it a how-to guide? A recipe? When you label it clearly, it's way more likely to be trusted and used. Now, here's another massive shift in thinking. For years, SEO was all about backlinks, right? Getting other sites to link to you. And yeah, those still matter. But what matters even more to an AI is brand mentions. The AI is reading everything: forums, social media, review sites, news articles. Just getting your brand name mentioned in those relevant places, even without a link, sends a huge signal of authority.
So where do you get these all-important mentions? Here's your checklist. Go claim and fill out every business directory profile. Get listed in your industry-specific databases. You need to be aggressively pursuing customer reviews. Pitch yourself to get into those best-of roundup articles. Those are pure gold for AI. And use press releases for your announcements. You're building this whole web of trust signals, all pointing back to you as the expert.
Okay, we've covered the on-page playbook and the off-page playbook. Let's bring it all home. We're moving to our final section, Section 5, Becoming a Trusted Source. This is about putting it all together.
But before you run off and start implementing all this, let's really quickly cover the 3 biggest mistakes people make when they try to optimize for these AI overviews. You know, avoiding the pitfalls is just as important as doing the right things.
The first mistake, and it's so common, is just writing these long, winding paragraphs. The AI is looking for direct answers. It wants content that's clearly structured in a question and answer format. It makes it super easy to just grab the info and present it to the user.
Mistake number 2 is ignoring the technical side of things, especially that schema markup we talked about. Remember the moving boxes? If you don't label your content, you're just making it harder for the AI to understand and trust what you're saying. And get this, something like 80% of local websites don't use it. That is a huge missed opportunity.
And the third mistake is making big claims without backing them up. Look, you can't just say you're the best. You have to prove it. You need to pack your content with specific data, customer reviews, statistics, and citations to build a rock-solid case that you're an authority.
And this really brings us to the final takeaway. Right now, most of your competitors are probably panicking. They're worried about lost clicks, they're saying SEO is dead, but for you, this is a massive blue ocean opportunity. By understanding these new rules and actually using this playbook, you can leapfrog the competition and establish your business as the AI's go-to source in your field.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. In this new age of AI, is your business going to be a trusted source? Or is it just another search result waiting to be scrolled past and forgotten? The choice, and right now the opportunity, is yours.